Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we are going to be doing a sleeving photo cards video. This is actually a very highly anticipated video, at least from me, because I have been wanting to kind of just chill and talk about some things for quite a while now. And today I finally get the opportunity to do that. I have quite a lot of photo cards to sleeve today. We have a whole bunch of red velvet, a lot of aespa, i-dle, i-dle, Le Sserafim. I think there's a couple Jisoo's mixed in here somewhere as well. And then I also do have a whole bunch of duplicates that I still haven't sleeved yet. Some of the things I plan on talking about today are going to be my Le Sserafim concert experience. So I went to the concert September 3rd, so it's actually almost 2 full months now since I've been to this concert. But I saw them in September in Newark, so we're going to talk about that. And then probably i-dle and i-dle's Japanese releases, just talk a little bit about those, maybe like the MVs and just like all the songs on those albums. And then I guess maybe talk about like what's upcoming. So like i-dle has Tunnel Vision coming up soon, and then Miyeon has her solo, not debut, I was going to say debut, but solo comeback. So looking forward to both of those things as well, and kind of just talk about whatever else may come to mind. So with that said, this will probably be a long video, but I hope you guys are looking forward to it just as much as I am. So settle in, grab a snack, grab a beverage, and yeah, let's begin. Real quick, I'm going to go over the sleeves that I use. And so I use the Dragon Shield White Classic and Clear Classic sleeves for basically my entire collection. I use these for my 9-pocket page binders, which most of my cards go into those. And then in addition to that, I do also have Mayday game sleeves, which I use predominantly for my smaller collect books. So like my Silgi collect book, Giselle collect book, and Ui collect book, I will use these sleeves, so you'll probably see those a little bit today as well. All right, so let's begin sleeving these photo cards. First up, I have all of my red velvet photo cards. So I think this first one on top here is actually the only red velvet specific photo card that I have. I think everything else is unit or solo stuff. This is a red velvet card technically, but this is going into my Silgi collect book, so I actually will need one of these sleeves early on here from Mayday Games, so we can put this very pretty hollow card into that sleeve, and I'll actually keep that separate from that stack for right now. But as we move on and into the video, I do want to talk about the Le Sserafim concert. First and foremost, it was such a good time. Like, I cannot even express to you like how good of a time it was. I guess I'll start like at the beginning because I think that will help me like remember everything the easiest. So let's see, it was on September 3rd. I drove up with a friend, so I drove both of us. It was about like a 4-hour drive, and it was also my third time personally driving to Prudential Center for a concert. So I've driven to Prudential Center 4 total times, but only 3 times I've driven like by myself. The 4th time I was a passenger in the car, so technically it really wasn't that rigorous of a trip for me since I wasn't driving that first time I went. But I drove to Prudential Center for Blackpink in 2022, and then aespa and Le Sserafim both this year actually. So aespa was in February, I think, and then Le Sserafim, of course, was in September. And it's kind of funny because I feel like I've gotten it down almost to a science now, because each time I've driven up by myself, I have timed it like so incredibly well. I've gotten there right when the parking garage opens, which is I think like 5 p.m. most of the times. Like within 5 minutes of it opening, I've been there like on site. So I don't really know like how lucky that is or how much like calculation goes into that in terms of like, am I just getting lucky or am I just a really good planner? But yeah, we planned it out really, really well, and I got there basically right as the garage opened. I actually didn't get an incredible spot. We had to park on the highest level, so we weren't undercover, which was actually so funny because I had mentioned when I was parking like to my friend, He's funny because he tries to like get me riled up for no reason. He just likes to crack jokes. But I mentioned to him like, oh, I don't remember parking like all the way up here for aespa. Like I feel like the parking garage is more full, even though we're kind of here at exactly the same time. Like when I went there for aespa, I got there right when it opened, and now I'm here for Le Seraphim, and I also got here right when it opened. But yet I'm still parking like farther up in the parking garage for Le Seraphim. And it was like, oh, so that must mean that, you know, Le Seraphim is more popular than aespa, right? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, you know, in theory, if, you know, the parking garage is more full, that means more people came to see Le Seraphim. So that means Le Seraphim is better than aespa. He's not really like being serious. He's trying to get me to like pick sides because he knows that I don't like to do that. And so it was kind of just like a funny thing that I kind of just brushed off. So I'm like, dude, you're trying to like stir the pot right now. Please don't. So that was a little funny beginning to the trip. But we got there on time, right at 5 o'clock. We were looking pretty good. We walked across, I think it's called Devil's Square, because the New Jersey Devils play at the Prudential Center typically. That's the NHL team. So we walked across Devil's Square and we went to the chicken place that's like right outside the arena. We got some food there, and we actually got in line pretty close to the gates opening. We didn't really stand in line for too long. We actually got really lucky because we were in the line that was feeding into Devil's Square. So I guess like from wherever you park, it's on the opposite side of the arena from where you park. And we ended up getting so lucky because we stood in the line farthest to the right. And very randomly, as we were standing in the line, and this was very shortly after the gates had opened and people were starting to be let in, one of the security guys came like halfway down our line that we were standing in, and then maybe like 2 to 3 people in front of us kind of put his arm out and said, hey, all of you people, follow me. And so he like brought the people in front of us and then some people behind us off to the side door, and then he let us go through security and get in through the side door that way, I guess to like keep it moving quicker. I don't really know. I just feel like we got super lucky in that scenario because I was like, dude, I feel like I'm getting like some sort of special privilege that I don't deserve, but I guess I'll take it because it helps us get into the venue quicker. Because we were honestly probably not getting in anytime soon, because anytime you go to Prudential Center, I hate to say this, but like their security is just like not efficient whatsoever. It's really, really bad. And it takes forever to get into the venue whenever you go to a Prudential Center concert. At least that's been my experience every single time I've gone. Their bag policy is also really strict, so a lot of people have issues with that if they don't look up like the bag policy beforehand. I will say they do offer like lockers there if you mess up and your bag isn't like permitted into the venue. You can like leave the line, put your bag in a locker, and then get back in line, obviously, and then enter the venue. But in general, like the security for Prudential Center is not very good. So we were kind of blessed in that scenario that the security guard decided to just kind of like chop the line off right there and then sort of direct us to another entrance to where we could get in like much quicker. And then once we were in, I told my friend, I was like, we are immediately going to the merch section. So we went to the merch stand and we were in quite a long line. There were actually 2 lines. So there was a regular line and an Amazon line. I didn't get in the Amazon line because I had to download one of the Amazon apps and like scan a QR code. And I was like, honestly, like it's not a lot of work, but right now, like that's too much work for me. I don't feel like doing that. So I stood in the regular merch line, and I only found out like when I got up to the front that really the Amazon line was not that much more of a benefit. All it really meant is that whenever like the next teller or whatever could see the next person, the person who was kind of directing traffic at the front of the line would let like 2 people from the Amazon line go in a row and then let 1 person from the regular line, and that was kind of just like the order that they were going in, the cycle that they were doing. So let 2 Amazon people go, 1 regular person go, 2 Amazon people, 1 regular person. So it's like, it really, at least to me, wasn't that much of a benefit. But when we got in, we didn't have, because the gates opened at 6 and the concert started at 7:30. So We didn't have a whole lot of time to like waste essentially, but we spent almost that entire 90 minutes standing in the merch line. And I ended up getting some merch. My friend that I took with me did not end up getting merch, but I got a t-shirt, a pretty cool t-shirt, I thought. And then I got one of the banners, which if you have seen my Instagram, I do have a, oh gosh, what's it called? It's like the thing where you can compile your stories. I forget what it's called. Okay, I looked it up because it was bothering me. Highlight. So I have a highlight. If you've seen my highlight on my Instagram, Brett's K-Pop Nook on Instagram, I posted a picture of the banner that I got because it's part of like my setup. I just kind of tacked it to the wall, but it's part of my like shelf setup in my room. So I wanted to post it as a shelf update because I have a shelf update highlights on my Instagram. Anyway, I got that, and then I also wanted to get the photo cards, but of course, because any concert I go to, they always sell out of the photo cards, like first and foremost, so they didn't have any photo cards, but I did get one of the random magnets, and the magnet I ended up pulling was Chaewon's magnet, so that is currently sitting on my fridge right now. So those are the three things that I bought at the merch stand, but when we were done there, it was already 7:20, and all the food and drink lines were also super long. And even though we were both like pretty thirsty, we weren't hungry because we obviously had like just eaten, but we were both looking to like get maybe a water before the concert starts. We weren't able to do that because it was just gonna be cutting it way too close to the start of the concert with everything like super long, all the long lines and stuff like that. I don't think there was any chance that we were getting any water before the concert started. So we just went to the seats and kind of waited for the concert to start. We didn't have to wait too long. And when the concert started, they started off with three songs, or the three most recent songs at the time. So they started with Ash, which was just amazing. And Ash was honestly one of the songs I was looking forward to like hearing live the most, and they did so incredible with that song. And then I think they did, I forget which one came after the other, but the next two songs that they did were Come Over and Hot. So basically they just performed the entire Hot like mini album. So my friend was actually really happy because he's a Le Sserafim fan, right? But he's not like super into a lot of their music. He's very particular about the songs that he likes, but he really liked the Hot release, like all of the songs from them. And I was like, man, you must be really happy because we are starting off this concert with a bang for you because they just played all the songs that you like right away. So that was really nice. Then they kind of, if I think I remember, they kind of stopped. I can't remember if they just like went to the back and then did a new set and then like stopped to talk for once, or if they stopped to talk right after those opening songs and then did another set. I can't remember. But the concert in general was just like incredible. I really enjoyed, listening to all of the title tracks because if you ask me, I think Le Sserafim has like really good title tracks. And so I was looking forward to hearing a lot of those. And also, which was a big surprise for at least me, because I didn't look at the set list before I went to the concert. So I was completely unaware that they were going to perform Different, but I was excited when they started playing Different, but then at the same time, I was also kind of disappointed because it wasn't the Japanese version. They were doing the English version for Different, which I mean is not bad. Like I still like the song Different, but I would have just preferred the Japanese version. I understand why they went with the English version, but it's kind of just a thing with a lot of these K-pop groups. They like to perform their English versions of songs when they come to America, which, like I said, is not really a bad thing, but I don't know. I kind of just wish to listen to the original when you tour here. That's kind of just my opinion. So I was really excited to hear Different, but the entire concert, like all the girls, they were like super engaged with the crowd and having like full-blown conversations with like members of the crowd. They were doing like dances together, and like there was even a couple times where like they were doing like dance challenges or whatever where people in the crowd were doing dances, and the members were reacting to them, and it was really, really cool. And also, like, the amount of times that they talked, like, I don't think there was a lot of talking. There was definitely a couple rest points where they did some talking, but most of it was kind of just like them trying to catch their breath and just being like, "Oh my God, this is like so amazing! Like, how are you guys, feeling?" Da da da. Right? It kind of didn't get too serious in terms of the talking until like the final talking point, which the members talked a lot in that final like talking segment. There's a word for it. I forget what it's called, but there was a talking segment right before they were about to be like done for the night. So I think they did the talking segment and then 2 more songs, and then it was actually like the concert was over. But the order that they talked in was from, I think it was Unche started, and Unche talked for like, I kid you not, like 10 to 15 minutes. She had a lot to say, and it was all very, very sweet, and you can tell it was like very genuine, very wholesome. So it was really nice to hear all of that. And then I think Sakura went next, and that's like the one that kind of stuck with me the most after the concert, because what Sakura said really just like made me really sad. Sakura basically said that like she still struggles with self-confidence, and she is like not, I don't know, she was kind of alluding to not being happy all the time, which I'm not saying you should be happy all the time. It just like it made me feel so bad for her, because I know like the journey that she has been on, especially the last like year, 2 years or so, where she in particular, and I mean this has been all the members, but she in particular has gotten a lot of unwarranted hate. And I just think about how that may or may not be affecting her. And so for her to come out and say that she still struggles with, this stuff in terms of just like singing and dancing and stuff like that, it kind of like, I think it's very strong of her to come out and say that. But I also, like I said, it's so sad that she kind of like feels that way. But she did like turn it back around and say she feels the most confident when she's performing in front of her fans. So that made us all feel a little bit better. But like I said, I still was kind of just like, I just wanted to like hug her, like I was like, Sakura, please, like, you are awesome. Please know that you are awesome. Like, please just like keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry what the haters say, because they are just haters. And I know that's easier said than done, but like I said, I just feel I felt so sad for her. But I hope that she is doing okay. And yeah, so that's what Sakura said. We are done with the red velvet cards for now, so let's move to aespa. I think up next was Kazuha, and Kazuha, she prepared a full statement in English, which I thought was so cute, because you could tell she put a lot of like thought and effort into this, and she said everything in English, so I thought that was really, really cute. And she also talked for a good like 5-10 minutes. And then we moved on to, I think it was Chaewon, and Chaewon spoke for a little bit, maybe like 5 minutes. And then it got to Yunjin, and hers was also, why can't I speak? Hers was also really emotional, because she obviously, I think part of her story, I haven't looked too much into it, but like I think she was at like a BTS concert at Prudential Center way back in like, I don't know, 2016, 17, something like that. So it was kind of like a full circle moment for her. And she was kind of like, I can't believe this is my life, you guys. And like she started like kind of tearing up, and all the members were hugging her. And she also had like a full like handwritten statement to read out as well, because she didn't want to forget anything. It was like on a loose leaf paper. It was kind of funny. And her sister was also in the crowd there kind of supporting her, so that was awesome. Her sister was like down in the pit. She was very close to the stage, so that was pretty cool. And it was just like a really like heartwarming, like awesome moment. And I really like cannot describe like how amazing like the concert was as a whole. That was really like a good like cap to the entire concert because they did so well performing all the songs. They were really like energetic, personable, upbeat the entire concert, interacting with everyone in the crowd. Always checking in on us and stuff like that. And they just made it like the best concert possible. And legitimately, when I was walking out of the concert, I said, I think that might be the like maybe top three. I don't know about best concert I've ever been to because I think there's like one or two concerts that mean like a little bit more to me personally. But as far as like entertainment and like the amount of fun that I had, like that has to be top three concerts I've ever been to. And my friend also said the same thing, which I was kind of surprised at because he's usually pretty hard to please. And so when he was coming out of the concert and was like, yo, that concert was awesome, I was kind of surprised by that, but also really happy because I'm like, I'm so glad that you enjoyed it because I know you typically are kind of like, hard to please. You're kind of a stickler about some things. But yeah, it got his seal of approval, so I was very happy about that. So overall, the concert was just awesome. I had such a great time. If Le Sserafim tours in the United States again next year, the year after, whenever, I definitely plan on being there. And also, one interesting thing about the concert too, it was my first concert that I've been to where like the Bluetooth like receivers on the light stick were like actually a thing. So all the light sticks in the crowd, because of the Bluetooth, they synced up with the music and the performances and all that stuff, right? So if you had a light stick in the crowd, you had no control of like what color it was or how fast it was blinking or whatever, which I thought was really, really cool because, like I said, I've never experienced that before. I don't think any other group that I've seen has used the Bluetooth functionality at a concert. So yeah, I just thought it was awesome and a really great experience. And if you have the chance to see Le Sserafim and the means to see Le Sserafim in the future, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I think they put on a great show, and they're all so talented. And like you said, or like I said, you can tell that they're just all so genuine, and I love them so much. So as I move on, I feel like I need to take a break real quick because that was a lot of rambling. Oh man, I did not think that the Seraphim concert would honestly go that quick in terms of like me talking about it. I thought I'd be like, I don't know, at least like 4 sections done here of sleeving, but I guess not. So I have to find a lot more stuff to talk about now. I guess I'll move on to the i-dle and i-dle comebacks for their Japanese comebacks. So I think if I remember correctly, it was i-dle that came back first. They released, I think it was 3 original Japanese tracks for this Japanese release, and then I think they did a Japanese version for Fate and a Japanese version for Queen Card. And when it released, I really, really liked, like from the jump, the music video and the song for Where Do We Go. I thought they did such a good job of tapping into that like nostalgic vibe that's kind of like running rampant across like K-pop as a concept for the last couple years. It's kind of a concept that I think, was brought in by New Jeans for the most part, and kind of like everyone saw that was being so successful, and they're like, okay, we got to do like Y2K concepts now. And I feel like i-dle tapped into that kind of like Y2K nostalgic, millennium type vibe for this music video. And I do think the song also had those like kind of like Y2K vibes to them, because as someone who experienced the millennium, like it was a new song, obviously, but it still had like a familiar sound to it. So it felt like a song that I had heard before, which is not a bad thing. I think it's a testament to how well the song was like thought about and produced by Soyeon, right? Because I think Soyeon produced the main title track for that. But yeah, I just really enjoyed the song. I enjoyed the B-sides as well. I think one of them was called Invincible. And then there was a third one. I don't know the English title off the top of my head because Spotify, the only English title that they have in like the mini album on Spotify is Invincible. So that's why I remember that one. But the third song, I think, is like a ballad type song. I also really enjoy that song as well. I'm sorry, I don't know the title off the top of my head, the English title, but that song was also really, really great. And I just loved seeing, i-dle, coming out with this mini album. And honestly, I feel like hitting it out of the park. Like, I saw very little like criticisms at all on Twitter, like when this was happening, like when it came out, which I feel like is very rare for an i-dle comeback, because I just feel like on Twitter, at least, they're like very easy to hate. I don't know why. A lot of people dislike i-dle and Soyeon when I think they're just so amazing. But I didn't see a lot of that this comeback, so I was very happy with that. A lot of the reception I saw was mostly positive, and I love that for i-dle, and I hope we can kind of keep that going into the next comeback, which I presume will be a Korean comeback. And I certainly hope that we can get that for Miyeon's solo comeback here in the next couple weeks as well. Because, like I said, I think they're just really good at what they do. They're so good at producing music. It sounds so awesome. And then, of course, like the music videos are really well put together. So I think that they just deserve a lot of praise for how good they are. And sometimes, like I said, I feel like that's not really being done online. But I guess that's kind of where all the opinions are kind of divulged, and some opinions are not good opinions. So kind of just is what it is, I guess. And then up next, we also had i-dle, who had a Japanese comeback. And wait, do I need to put... Okay, I think these two Giselle cards I might need to put in the Mayday sleeve. So the i-dle comeback we had was for Collector, so it was a Japanese comeback. And they had, I think, maybe like 5 or 6 original Japanese songs. Rock and Roll was the main title track, and I really enjoyed the title track for this Japanese release for i-dle. I feel like all of their Japanese release title tracks have hit it out of the park every single time. So you have Voltage and Blah Blah Blah, and you have Ringo and Algorithm, and now Rock and Roll. I feel like, am I missing another one? Maybe they've had another Japanese comeback that I'm not remembering. But all of the title tracks are just absolutely incredible. The B-sides on this particular release, I wasn't like a huge fan of. There's a couple that I listen to occasionally, but for the most part, I just really enjoy Rock and Roll. And I thought the music video was also pretty good. The music video in particular, I was thinking about this the other day. The lighting for the music video kind of reminded me of the music video for Sneakers. I don't know like how else to explain it, but like there's just like a particular like glow, like that, like the members themselves glow on the camera. Like in Sneakers music video, it is very comparable, I think, to the Rock and Roll music video that we saw for the Collector release. I'm not sure how else to describe it other than that. I'm sure someone who watches film, studied film, and can tell me a little bit about lighting might be able to describe it better, but I feel like the lighting is just very similar in the way like the members, like I said, kind of glow on the camera in the music video. And then, of course, in addition to the Japanese comeback, they are having a very quick turnaround because they, of course, are having a Korean comeback at the beginning of November. That's going to be Tunnel Vision. There have been some there's been one trailer and a couple teasers released for that comeback, and I'm very much looking forward to that. I have pre-ordered all of the 12 album versions that JYP decided to release for this comeback, this Korean comeback. And I fully expect that on release day, we are going to get an announcement for probably 2, maybe 3 special editions, because that is what JYP does. He just releases so many versions of a particular album. And me as a collector, as much as I hate to say it, like, I gotta have all of them. So I'm really interested to see, especially like the film projection version. I'm really looking forward to what those album versions are going to be like. And once again, I think this is going to be another era where there's going to be a lot of album photo cards, like a lot. There was over 100 for Girls Will Be Girls, and I'm still not done that era. or really, I mean, I think I'm close-ish. I think I might have like, I don't know, 20-ish cards left to collect for that era, which is honestly pretty good considering how many photo cards there are for Girls Will Be Girls. And I have finally started to kind of decide on pre-order benefit sets. I just started recently picking back up ordering on Mercari Japan via Bai. I'm going to try it out and see how it goes with the shipping and tariff situation. Obviously hoping for the best, but kind of just exhibiting some cautious optimism, I guess, because the shipping situation in and out of the United States these days is just always a crapshoot. You don't really know what's going to happen. So I'm kind of just like I said, hoping for the best. So I resumed buying on Mercari Japan, and I have started looking into POB sets for ITZY Girls Will Be Girls. I landed on one I'm definitely doing, and that is I've never heard of this store before, but the Whoop POB set, or like, I guess, fan sign set, I don't really know. But it's the one where they are super close-up photo cards, so like they're kind of like egg photo cards. They're so cute, but I decided I'll collect that set OT5. And I have been looking at some other sets. There is a Make Star set that is very similar to the Whoop set, which is super up close, kind of like egg cards. But I don't know if I'm going to go with that one. One, because I was looking at the prices, and the prices are kind of insane, at least right now, for those cards. And then two, it's like, if I'm going to have one up close PC set, why do I need another? And the Whoop cards were not like super expensive at all, so I was very happy to make the purchase for all of those. I had to buy them individually, unfortunately, but even individually they weren't really that crazy, so I was happy with that. And as I get into a new box of sleeves here, I've also been thinking about other groups' POB sets as well, for like the sets I might want to pick up and collect, because I feel like over the last couple months I've been doing a very solid job, especially with not ordering cards from Mercari Japan. I've been doing a very good job at keeping up with the album cards in particular for a lot of these groups that I collect. But I really have been neglecting like the POB sets that I want to collect for all these groups and like set up for. So like, Girls Will Be Girls, I set up for a couple POB sets, I think 2, but I want to collect more. And I haven't even thought about until just this week, the sets that I'm going to collect. Same thing for We Are era for i-dle. Same thing for, I think, Yeji's solo release for Air. There was one more POB set that I needed, which I just hadn't even thought about like in months. And I actually also did just recently pick up 3 additional POBs for Air era for Yeji. And so I think I'm going to be completing that era pretty soon. But honestly, it made me realize, if anything, like this self-imposed hiatus that I took from buying on Mercari Japan, it made me realize how difficult collecting is without Mercari Japan. Because you can get a lot of these non-album cards and pre-order benefits for such good prices on Mercari Japan compared to eBay and like Mercari US. Like a lot of the aespa cards that I've been seeing and even picking up all of like the non-album cards for Dirty Work era, I've been seeing them on Mercari Japan for less than $10, and every time I look for the same exact card on like Mercari US, it is minimum like $15. And I'm like, why is this a thing? Why can't it be as cheap on the US site as it is on the Japanese site? And of course, I'm not like completely stupid. I know that it has to do with like supply, demand, stuff like that, right? So that's probably the actual reason why, but it's still kind of frustrating because it's like I put so much emphasis and I guess like I'm putting so much weight onto having to buy from Mercari Japan that when I take that away, it like severely hinders my ability to collect. And that's what's also kind of frustrating with this whole like shipping in and out of the United States thing that's currently going on right now, which I know there are probably Canadian viewers who watch my videos and also collect. I'm pretty sure Canada Post is on strike and has been on strike for quite a while. And you guys are also having to deal with a lot of shipping issues. So it's kind of just, like I said, frustrating and also just kind of like unsettling, I guess, on like where the world is right now. It's not really like no one really seems to be on good terms with each other, and I just strongly dislike that. Why can't we all just get along? Because we all, in general, want the same things, I feel like. We all just want to be living healthy and happy lives, and why can't we just have happy things? But I suppose that's too micro of a worldview. It's like too small of a worldview. You have to think, I guess, more macro and bigger. So yeah, that is kind of where I'm at on the shipping thing. Mercari Japan, like I said, I have been ordering cards from there recently, and I came across this pre-order benefit set for We Are, which I didn't even really know this set was a thing, but I saw a photo card of Oogie holding a baseball, and she was in the outfit I think that they wore for the like album, the mini album teaser, the teaser with like the casket or whatever. So she was wearing that white outfit, and then I was like, I wonder if this is like a set, if all the other members are holding a baseball in the set. And it turns out that it is. And I think the store is Move or Movie. It has like two V's. I don't really know how to pronounce it. This is another store that I have literally never heard of in my life. So add that to the list along with Whoop. But it's a movie set, a Move set for non-album cards. So I think that might be one of the sets I collect for We Are era, because all the members are going to be holding a baseball in it. It kind of doesn't go with the outfit that they're wearing, but I don't really care. They're holding a baseball. That's what matters to me. And then in addition to that set, I also kind of just was poking around at other pre-order benefit or non-album sets for We Are era, and they all look pretty expensive. So I think that's probably going to take a while in terms of me finishing off that era. So if i-dle wants to wait around and not really have, another Korean comeback for at least another couple months, I wouldn't necessarily be opposed. So I can catch up with We Are and take my time collecting those pre-order benefits, because like I said, I'm not really seeing any sets that I like going for super cheap. So that's kind of where we are with that. I haven't looked too much into Le Sserafim Hot era for pre-order benefits. I'm still trying to just get like the album cards for that. But I think relatively soon I should be starting to look for pre-order benefits and non-album cards for Hot era. And I will also need to start looking for Spaghetti cards, because that just recently came out. I guess I can talk a little bit about Spaghetti, because I haven't done that yet. So first and foremost, I do want to point out that I absolutely love the concept and just like I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but maybe just like the marketing of this entire comeback Spaghetti as a whole. I love the album version. So like the Spaghetti boxes and then like the photo card backs are like spices. I think that is so creative and cool, and I cannot wait to collect those photo cards. And also I am like exhibiting so much self-control by not ordering any of those album versions, because they, like I said, they're just so cool. I like honestly really want one so bad. But I'm still trying to hold firm in like just collecting Le Sserafim photo cards, not getting into like the physical albums, because my shelves cannot take it at this point in time. I feel like I definitely am very worried about what I'm going to have to do for my Etsy shelves when Tunnel Vision comes out and I get all of those albums in, because As it stands right now, my Etsy shelves, my 2 shelves that I have my albums on, are very full, and I don't know if they can take any more like physical album copies on them. I might have to get another shelf or just do some like serious redistributing or reorganizing or something or other. But back to Le Seraphim and Spaghetti. So talking about the MV a little bit, I really enjoyed the MV when I watched it the first time. I thought it was super colorful, and it was shot really, really well and interesting. There was a lot of interesting graphics and things of that nature in the MV. The song, I'll admit, when I first started listening to it, or listened to it for the first time, first couple times, I didn't really like it. I'm sorry to say. It's kind of growing on me a little bit now. But hold on, I need to figure out how I'm putting this in. So I think I'll put it in this way. It's kind of growing on me now. And it honestly made me think of like, so last year when Gold came out for ITZY, and it was kind of all over the place. I feel like it wasn't a typical ITZY song, like it was slightly more experimental. I didn't really like Gold first listen then, but I like Gold now, and I feel like that's kind of just going to have to be, or it's going to be my trajectory with Spaghetti. So right now, I don't really like it so much, but I think it'll probably grow on me like towards the end, because especially when it gets to the chorus, I feel like the chorus is just too catchy to like not pull you in eventually. So I feel like once I listen to it a couple times, I feel like it will grow on me and I will like Spaghetti. And I also, this is kind of a news flash or whatever, but remember my Dirty Work unboxing for aespa where I said that I didn't really like Dirty Work all that much either? I think I kind of like it a lot now. And it's probably going to be like when I see my Spotify Wrapped later this year, it's probably going to be like one of my most played songs. I'm not going to lie. Like I've been listening to Dirty Work a lot lately, and I think it's really, really good. So that song grew on me, Gold grew on me, and I feel like Spaghetti, like I said, is probably just going to do the same thing. So that's what I feel about Spaghetti. And then I need the white sleeve for this one. But then moving on to the B side for Spaghetti, we got Pearlies, which I did like a lot the first listen. So Pearlies I liked a lot better than Spaghetti first listen, and I have been listening to that song so much since it came out. I love all of their voices in that song, and I just think it's really well composed, and it's an awesome B-side. So Pearlies is a huge winner for me from their album, and I'm very much looking forward to collecting those photo cards, like I said, because the backs of the photo cards are like spices, and I just think that is so cool, and I cannot wait. So looking forward to that. Well, as I move on here in the video, I kind of think I have reached the point where I have run out of things to talk about. What can I talk about as I continue to sleeve these photo cards? I guess, well, I mean, last night I was watching, this is probably to no one's shock and amazement, but I was watching Game 3 of the World Series between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Dodgers, and I was up until almost 3 a.m. in the morning because, if you did not hear about this, Game 3 went 18 innings long. So we got 2 full games of baseball in one game, which is really crazy. The last time a World Series game went 18 innings has only been one other time. It was the longest game in World Series history in terms of innings, and that was back in 2018. That was between the Red Sox and the Dodgers as well. It was also, this was crazy when I saw this on Twitter this morning. The last time that a World Series game went 18 innings was 2018. It was Game 3 of the World Series, Red Sox at Dodgers. So it was also in LA. And then, Brad Paisley sang the national anthem for that game in 2018. And then yesterday, would you believe that Brad Paisley sung the national anthem for Game 3 in a game between an AL East opponent. So this time it wasn't the Red Sox, but it was the Blue Jays. So they're in the same division. And it was also against the Dodgers. And it was also game 3. And it also went 18 innings long. And it also won. It was won on a walk-off home run. Like, that's what I love about baseball, because baseball, like, you think like it's a boring sport, but then just like weird stuff like that happens, and that's what makes it amazing. I mean, besides like, the chess match that's kind of going on between both teams, like as the game is happening and like unfolding, which was really interesting to watch last night in particular, because when you get to the late innings like that, especially in a playoff series scenario, you are really like pinching pennies, and like, you have to really worry about the guys you sub in and out and what situations. You have to like weigh each situation in terms of, okay, am I making this move now, or should I like wait a little bit later to pull this card, and stuff like that, right? In terms of like subbing players in to like pinch hit or pinch run. And then you got into the scenario where it's like, we don't really have any pitchers left. I mean, both bullpens exhausted all of their relievers for the game. So the Dodgers, they actually got a pretty crazy performance from Will Klein, who is a rookie pitcher, and he actually was, I think, DFA'd or maybe like traded from the Mariners earlier this season. So the Dodgers, he didn't start on the Dodgers this year, and he actually wasn't even on the postseason roster until the World Series. But he's a relief pitcher, and he throws like 100 miles per hour. And typically guys like that can really only go 1 inning, maybe 2 innings max, because of just like the amount of force that they put into their pitches. And like, if you're a reliever, you're designed as a reliever to just throw as hard as possible. You're not really, used for length or anything like that. You're not used for multiple innings. So yesterday, he went 4 innings and threw 72 pitches, which for a reliever that throws 100 miles per hour, to me, is just absolutely insane and unheard of. So that was an incredible performance from him. And I hope I'm not losing some of you guys by like going this in depth about the World Series, but I thought it was awesome because just like I said, the chess match going on in the game, there was a lot of possibilities. Like, there was a chance we could have seen Yoshinobu Yamamoto pitch again for the Dodgers, which he just pitched like a complete game, 1 run. I was going to say shutout, but a complete game, 1 run, like game in game 2, which was literally 2 days ago, and he threw 102 pitches, and he was actually warming in the bullpen towards the end of the game. He didn't have to come in, but I was like, you just threw 102 pitches 2 days ago, and now you're thinking about pitching again in this game? Like, that's crazy. That is literally crazy to me. But I guess I will kind of wrap up the World Series talk. If anyone is curious, the Dodgers are now leading the series 2-1 after Game 3. By the time I upload this, the series may be over, or it may be a completely different like lead in the series of whoever's leading the series. But so I'll probably upload this either Thursday or Friday, and by then Games 4 and 5 will have happened. So right now, as it stands in time, the Dodgers are leading 2-1. As we finish up with the ITZY section here, got all my ITZY cards good to go, and then we have Le Sserafim to do, and then I think maybe a couple Jisoo cards behind those Le Sserafim cards, and then we just have the duplicates left. So we are nearing the end here. And real quick, as I get into Le Sserafim here, I will not fully leave behind the baseball talk, because I will just briefly say, for anyone interested, the Korean series is also currently going on. The LG Twins, which is my team that I follow in the KBO, they are facing the Hanwha Eagles, and they are currently up, as it stands right now, 2-0. LG is. They won the first 2 games at home, and I think the series shifts to Hanwha, and it's a best of 7. And actually, that kind of reminds me, I just recently watched the vlog that Silgi did for her YouTube channel for her throwing out the first pitch at the Hanwha Eagles game, or the first pitch that didn't happen because the game got rained out. I was kind of disappointed because I was like, we were gonna get a whole vlog like at a baseball game of like Seulgi doing baseball things, and we still kind of got that. Like, we got some footage of her like warming up, I guess in like the training like batting cage area on the stadium and stuff like that. We got some interactions there where she came out and like interacted with the crowd when the game was officially like announced, like called or whatever. She still like went out and interacted with some folks that I think that were down on like the lower levels of the stadium or whatever. But it ended up being like a bread review, and then also they kind of just like went out on the town and kind of just like had like a no plan trip. So that's what they ended up doing for that vlog. Slightly disappointing that we couldn't get a full baseball vlog, at least like from my perspective, but obviously she had no control over the weather. Nobody had control over the weather, so it kind of just is what it is. I feel like I need to be better about watching like YouTube content from like the artists that I like, and I feel like I haven't been doing a good job of that lately, and I don't know if it's because I just don't have the time or if I'm just not interested anymore. Like, because I remember back in like, 2020, 2021, I would always watch like these funny moments, compilation channels and stuff like that. And that's kind of what like shaped my fandom around a lot of the groups that I collect. So, Red Velvet and i-dle and ITZY, especially, like those three groups especially, I watched a lot of like compilation, like funny moments videos for those groups. And that's kind of what like endeared me to a lot of the members and, kind of led me to choosing my biases and stuff like that, right? So I used to watch a lot of that content, and I just don't really watch a lot of it anymore. And like I said, I don't know if I've just lost interest in general, or if, I don't have the time. Like, I have been still watching a lot of like, I've been actually watching a lot of Netflix lately. A lot of documentaries and stuff like that on Netflix, a lot of different shows, trying to put to use that subscription that just keeps going up in price seemingly every single month. So I'm trying to get my money's worth with that. But when it comes to i-dle content, like I know Seulgi has a channel, and like Miyeon has a channel, Yuna has a channel. I think Chungha just launched a channel, which I did watch the like house tour video for Chungha, which was so sweet. She is like she says she's not minimalistic, but her apartment is very minimalistic. So she doesn't have a lot of stuff on the wall. She doesn't have a lot of decorations. She also says she basically lives in the dark. And I was like, you know what? That is so relatable, because like me too. I love the dark. Like, I don't need any light whatsoever. Like, if I'm just like sitting at my PC, the only light I need in the room is the light from the screens, and that's it. Like, that's all I need. So I was like, that's so relatable. And also, she has a whole bunch of like snacks in her apartment, and they're all just like American classics. So it's like she has like Funyuns and Cheetos and things like that. And so I was like, you know what? That is awesome. So like I watched that kind of recently, but yeah, I feel like I could just do better in watching like i-dle content. Not that I'm saying I have to. Let me do that because you can't really see the photo card in the middle there. Not saying that I like have to watch these videos. I just think it would be better for me to like, I don't know, just like not keep track. That sounds kind of weird, but just like, I don't know, relate more to the idols, if I watch their YouTube content or stuff like that, right? Because they're putting it out there like for us to watch, right? So why not like watch it? But yeah, it's just I don't know if I have the time or if I've just grown disinterested or what. But that's kind of how I feel about that currently. Let me know how you guys feel about it. Do you guys still watch a lot of like YouTube contents, official YouTube contents from idols, or have you kind of like faded out of it as you've gotten older? I think that's probably one of the reasons why I've stopped watching it, because I've just gotten older and I feel like I don't have the time for it. Or do you guys still watch like basically mostly all of the videos that your favorite idols put out. Let me know in the comment section below. I have these fortune cards here from the trading card packs from Irene and Silgi Balance Tour merch. I'm probably going to end up doing nothing with them unless, I mean, I could give them away as freebies. I'm sleeving them to put them in like my sale and trade binder. I don't plan on selling them, but I think I might give them away as freebies, like in orders, because I don't particularly want them. I know that I could like scratch them off with like a coin, but that would kind of damage the card. And then I know some people wipe it off with like alcohol or something, but I feel like that's just too much effort. So I kind of just like don't really care for them. So I'll probably just end up giving them as freebies. That's actually a good idea. I wasn't thinking about that, but I could just give them away as freebies. So that's what I'll end up doing. And then the last card in here is actually my damaged Sakura card, which you would have seen in my previous haul video. So I'm going to actually take it out of the sleeve that it's currently in and put it in one of these Dragon Shield sleeves. I just kept it in that pink sleeve because I wanted to like have that mental note that it's the damaged one, because I didn't want to like have to basically sift through that card and the other card that I did pick up, the duplicate that replaced the damaged one. But I will take it out of this pink sleeve and show you guys once again. If you didn't see my haul video, it is bent pretty good. It came pretty damaged due to the top loader being completely bent in the envelope that it was put in. And the card, it was packaged like really well. It was packaged as good as you can package a photo card, honestly. Like it was washi taped to the card. The top loader was in, you know, really bad condition because of what probably happened at the sorting center. But overall, it was packed really nicely in the card, and it just, I guess it got unlucky and it got jammed, and yeah, it just came very, very bent. So not going to be using that one for my collection, but I will probably just put it in my kind of like extra binder and pretty much do nothing with it. But that is the end of this sleeving photo cards video. I have talked so much. There were some points in this video where I feel like I was kind of going off the rails and losing my train of thought. So there will probably be some weird cuts in there because I was kind of struggling to think and then also sleeve photo cards at the same time. So I do apologize if there are some weird funky cuts in here, but I was losing my train of thought a couple times in this video. So I have everything already in frame here. Let me just take a quick break to kind of gather myself, and then I'm going to outro. So that is all I have for this sleeving photo cards video here today. I do think I now am going to make a playlist on the channel that includes all of my sleeving videos, because I think this is maybe my third or fourth sleeving video now. And so if you guys are curious and you want to go watch like the other videos that I've done where I just sleeve photo cards and talk for a little bit, I will put those all together in a playlist for you guys, and you can just watch it via the playlist on my channel. I know this particular video, there was a little bit of a sidebar with like the World Series and talking about the Korean series. You know, I don't mind talking about baseball. I try to leave it out of these videos because this is obviously a K-pop channel. But last night, like that game was just like so insane. Like I felt like I just needed to talk about it. And I mean, if you guys like me talking about baseball, I can certainly oblige and try to talk about it a little bit more. But like I said, because it's a K-pop channel, I kind of just assume that you guys really aren't here for that. So yeah, I enjoyed talking about the Le Sserafim concert, about the comebacks, about the baseball stuff. And I always kind of worry about these videos because, you know, it's kind of like stream of consciousness. And that I know like videos like that are not really for everybody because they get a little rambly and stuff like that. Which, as I mentioned like a minute ago, like I feel like this video did in some points. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. And I hope you guys enjoyed and it was entertaining to you guys. After this video, the next video is going to be the highly anticipated storing photo cards video. So all of the photo cards you see before you right now, except for probably this pile, because these are all of my duplicates. But all of these photo cards, except this pile, you're going to see me store in all of my binders. So that'll be the next video for next week. And after that, we kind of just get into the comebacks. So we got ITZY coming back and Miyun coming back. So it will kind of just be dependent upon when those albums get shipped to me and when I can do unboxings. So yeah. And we should also have a photo card haul coming kind of soon. I still think I have maybe like 20 days left in my storing period for my oldest like thing that's at the warehouse. So still like 3 more weeks or so before I absolutely have to ship out that package and like consolidate. So yeah, probably a little bit farther down the line for the photo card haul, but definitely look forward to that in the future. But with all of that said, I have done a lot of talking today, so I'm going to wrap this video up and get out of here. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching to this point in the video. If you did, I appreciate you so much. I hope you have an awesome day or night whenever you watch this, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.